Scott Satterfield met with the media for the first time since that ugly loss at Syracuse. So what did he have to say? Well, first, he talked about how the team reacted to that loss when it came back to practice for a quick week and a Friday night showdown at Central Florida.
I think Sunday, was everybody's obviously very disappointed and hurt. And I think yesterday we came back and very good practice yesterday. A lot more upbeat, a lot more energy. They lifted weights yesterday as well, and then went out there on the practice field and had a really good practice. It was focused, intent, got after it, which is what you want to see. You can't continue. You can't be down in the dumps knowing that we didn't play well, because we know what will happen if you're like that all week long. You go down there with no excitement, no juice, no energy, and you're going to get beat bad. And so you got to have that juice, you got to have that energy, you got to bring it all week. And I think our guys yesterday did that. They were excited to get on the practice field and try to get better.
One of the questions I asked Satterfield was about the number of offensive plays. He said his team didn't really get enough plays early to get into a rhythm. I asked if he might up the tempo to try and speed things up, change things up, and he indicated yes, he might.
When you talk about maybe you'd like to see more plays and more chance to get in rhythm at Central Florida, do you pick up your tempo at all, or is it just is it on the defense a little bit?
No, I think so. I think that's a good point. Looking back, we should have early in that game. Pick the tempo up, change it up a little bit more, not just methodically just trying to go slow down the field. Change the tempo up, mix it up. I think we did that a little bit in the third quarter, and we were able to move the ball better. With the run pass, going fast, it just puts more pressure on the defense. So, yeah, absolutely, we got to do more of that.
One of the concerns on Saturday was just Louisville's energy level. Let's go to Rick Bozich to get a bit more on that.
Well, Eric, the one thing that concerned me from what we heard about from the Louisville coaches were usually when you're in a season and you've played, 4 or 5 games and you're in a bad stretch, had some tough losses, then you might worry about energy. But when you talk about the very first game of the season, when you know it's a conference game in an electric environment like the Carrier Dome, and you're worried about that your team didn't really match the physicality and the intensity of the other team, that's a problem. And it's a problem Louisville has to fix. It has to fix immediately, because the next 2 games are going to be toss-up games. They're an underdog against Central Florida, and Florida State looked really good against LSU. They need to win at least one of these 2 games, and probably both of them, to get fans back on their side.
We got to match more energy. I thought they came out with a lot of energy. Syracuse did, and that crowd was electric in there. Whoever was at that game, it was loud and electric, and then they got some good things going too for them, and so it just made that a little bit more. And I think for us, we got to have some good stuff happen to us early in this game to try to keep their crowd out of it, because we know it'll be loud there. But I do know we have to match the intensity and the energy and the physicality of the football game. You just can't show up and go out there and think you're going to go play well in a football game to this day and age. Anybody will beat you. Anybody. And you got to bring that intensity and match that whoever you're playing, but bring it every single time. So no, I was disappointed in that last week. I mean, we got to bring it. We got to have it. We got to have that every time we're on the field. So, hopefully we learned that last week, and we'll bring it this week.
Obviously, a lot of things for Louisville to clean up before a big Friday night showdown in Orlando at UCF. That's what Satterfield had to say here at the beginning of the week. Thanks for watching. Here at Crawford, WDRB Sports.